Welcome back, guys, and welcome to the COVID Coaches Show with a lot of international coaches from all around the world. Today, we're live from Shanghai with Janine, Jakob, and our guest is Coach Colin. Welcome, Coach Colin.
Hey, Janine, first of all, I am enjoying your intro. Thank you very much. It's great to be back here once again. I'm very happy to be talking about a topic that, again, comes from our viewers. This one actually came from a close friend of mine. She mentioned that about a week ago that she was not motivated to do anything. She was not motivated to cook, clean, watch TV, do work, talk to people. She was not in a bad mood. She was feeling okay, but just had no motivation whatsoever. So at the time she called me just for me to listen, not for me to give any input or give some tips on how to get motivated. But today, I'm happy to say I'm giving motivation tips because, Janine, one of the things that we are, I think, week 10, week 11 in our coronavirus outbreak time, and we have the luxury of looking back and saying, I wish I could have done this better. So what we're trying to do now is give some tips. So when you guys look back, you say, I'm glad I did this looking back, right? So being motivated, I spent a lot of time being slow and unmotivated. And hopefully through today's lessons, you guys can look at how to reduce the time you're unmotivated and really be motivated, happy, and productive during this time. So looking very forward to sharing that story.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this. I think we've all been in these kind of situations where we were very low on motivation or on getting up or on getting anything done, right? Right now, we got to say, I'm super stressed. I have quite a lot of things to do. And it is true, now looking back, we could have used the time even better. And now we have the time. So tell me, Coach Colin, how do you get motivated?
Well, that's a great question, and I want to first share that, guys, there are several different ways to get motivated and several different forms of motivation. I want to start out by talking about two forms of motivation, and they both work. Now, yes, one is better than the other, but they both work. So if you find yourself unmotivated, needing a kick, look at both of these forms and pick one and go forward. There's the first form is being motivated out of fear. Fear is a great motivator. I remember when I was younger, I would say, man, if I don't pass this class, my mother's going to kick my, right? And you best believe that helped me get motivated to do just the amount of studying I needed to pass the class. But I'll give you a real life example. In your work, or if you're a student in school, an example of fear is if I don't submit this report, my boss will lose confidence in me.
Yeah.
If I don't submit this report, I may put my job in jeopardy. If I don't submit this report on time, I may fail this class. So people will then do the work and they'll get it done. And I tell you what, the fear of getting in trouble at work, the fear of failing at school will motivate you to do what? To do just enough, right? Just enough to submit the report on time. That's fine, right? The main thing there is you're motivated. Now that's being motivated out of fear. And again, fear is a great motivator. The problem though with being motivated strictly out of fear is at the end, you don't feel like you've gained anything. In those scenarios, when I passed my class, I didn't gain anything. I avoided something. When I submitted my report,
like negative energy somehow. I've been through this myself. It's the way how we got raised somehow. And I also get motivated by time pressure. It helps sometimes.
Time pressure as well. So going back to the example, if I don't submit the report at work on time, if I do at work, right, my boss, I avoided getting fired and avoided getting a bad grade. Now, the best way, in my opinion, to get motivated is being motivated out of something positive. So I'll give you the same example. If I submit this report on time, my boss will have confidence in me, and he'll know I'm a solid contributor at work, and perhaps I can use this when I'm asking him for a time off or for a raise. If I submit the report on time in school, I may get an A, right? So when I submit it and do it on time, I'm being motivated by the thought of achieving something and getting something, right? Getting respect from your boss, getting a better grade at school, as opposed to trying to avoid. So there are two ways. I know I'm going through very quickly, but there is there is motivation from fear, which does work, and motivation from success. And I got to tell you, motivation from success is much better. It feels much, much better, and it definitely helps you get up and go a lot faster.
Let me add something to this. I want to go one step further, like positive motivation. So we have extrinsic motivation, which, for example, could be the salary rise, but then there's also intrinsic motivation. So for me personally, like the reason why I love having my own business by now, the reason why I was working every day, even during the COVID time, it's because I had a purpose. And even now, today, just talking to you, it's so purposeful for me because I know I can help some people. And even if I'm sleepy and I want to stay in bed, or even if I don't feel well enough, it motivates me to get up, to get things done, because there's a purpose behind it and what I'm doing. It's like a greater good. There is a meaning behind what we do. And finding a purpose for things to do is something that really works well with me as well.
Yeah, you know what, that goes right into my next part here. You call it having a purpose. I call it having a goal, right? So again, we talked about the fear and success being drivers to motivation. I think the best driver to motivation that we have is a goal. And as Janine, you said, purpose.
Tell us more about goals. What role do goals play in your motivation?
Right. So, for example, I know that for me, and I think for most people, we are motivated by achievements. Again,
Yes.
avoiding something or achieving something. And if you think about what motivation does, motivation, let's take out the word motivation. What it means is it means doing something, right? Having the desire, not desire, taking action. So if I say I'm motivated to lose some pounds, I'm motivated to train for a race, that means it's not the motivation that's the key, it's the goal, right? And I think goals are, I heard it before, goals are like a magnet, right? The bigger and stronger the goal is, the more it pulls you through. And the more it pulls you through those times when you're not feeling motivated, right? When you're not feeling energetic. There's two things here. I say a strong, positive goal breeds motivation. If you have a very clear, strong goal, let's say, for example, you want to lose 10 pounds. And you've thought this out. You said, I want to lose 10 pounds because it'll put me in better shape. I can be here longer with my family. I feel proud of myself. It's all these strong reasons why you want to lose 10 pounds. And you've written this out. And you have mapped out how much you should lose each week, each 2 weeks. It's very, very clear. When that alarm goes off at 5 a.m. saying you need to get up and go run and exercise, you're more than likely going to get up and run and exercise because you can visualize what will happen in 1 week by following your plan. If you have a weak but positive goal, right? You have a strong positive goal, but if you have a weak positive goal, and so the goal is, I want to lose some weight. I want to lose some weight over the next, next few months, right? It's a positive goal, but it's weak in structure. And what happens is you can't get past the snooze button, right? You're not motivated to get past the snooze button. And that's primarily because your goal is not strong enough. The stronger the goal, the stronger the goal, the more it pulls you towards. So you talk about having a purpose. Whatever your purpose is, whatever your goal is, make sure that goal is strong and clear, and hopefully that should help you have that motivation. Let me add this. Motivation is not the key, right? Motivation is very important. After you have motivation, you get to a point where you don't need motivation to do the proper things. But right now, we're focusing on get that first step, getting you motivated.
Let me add something to this. I actually integrate this in my daily morning routine. So every day I also set a goal, a challenge to challenge me a little bit more. And when I actually set this goal, I write it down. And then I quickly close my eyes. And as you just mentioned, I visualize it, the success, me having achieved that goal today. And I do not only visualize it, so write it down, visualize it, and while you visualize it, create those feelings inside you. Like, how do you feel when you actually achieve that goal tonight? And do you feel proud? Do you feel happy? So it's like the mixture out of writing it down, visualizing, feeling makes it even stronger. And if you really have a purpose, if your why is strong enough, as you said, then for sure you're going to achieve your goal, whatever it is. Whether you are stuck in quarantine at home or you are outside and back at work. So tell us a bit more before we wrap this up. Do you have specific things you still want to mention now that everyone's still a bit stuck at home? How can we get motivated for things that are like after the COVID time?
Well, let me say that everything we're talking about now is irrelevant of the COVID time. We know that right now people are feeling a certain way due to COVID. But if you think about the goals, nobody knows when this COVID time or COVID period is going to end.
Exactly.
So it's best to have goals that are set for a reasonable date to achieve. Don't worry about the COVID aspect. Again, I know it's maybe hard to do, but all the tips we're giving can be used anytime. COVID time, non-COVID time, if you're lacking motivation. Now, guys, I'll be honest with you. It's very easy for me, for Janine, to be here and say, look, do this, go outside, get motivated. Okay, bye-bye. It's very easy for us to say that. But in reality, it's very hard to get motivated sometimes. I know for myself, there are things I can do in 10, 15 minutes, and it takes me 3, 4, 5, 6 days to start, okay?
Yeah.
So one of the things I had to do is I had to really identify what are my motivation triggers. What helps me to get that energy to get motivated? That energy to just say, you know what, I'm going to start something now and see it through. One thing, now each person has to find their trigger. One thing I learned the trigger for me, early in the morning when I wake up, putting on some very energetic music. Whatever your go-to music is, whatever your go-to songs are, put that music on, get it going. And one thing I do when I'm brushing my teeth, I tell myself, okay, when I leave this bathroom, no matter how I'm feeling, I'm going to walk out this room with energy. And I'll walk out with energy, I'll slap my wife on the butt, I'll kiss my baby, I'll scream, and it energizes me, and it does give me motivation to do certain things. But for me, those are two triggers that motivate me. You need to find out what are your triggers, because even if you have the motivation based off of fear, motivation based off of success, you still have to be triggered to take that first step. So find out what your trigger is. Sit down, think about it for a little bit. Ask a friend who knows you very well. What is it that triggers me to take action? You may learn something that you did not realize before. So, Janine, as you asked, these things are beyond the COVID-19 period. You can use these tips at any time.
Yeah, let me add a few more of my tips. So what do I do? Yes, music is very, very powerful, especially when I'm not in flow, when I have not used the trigger yet. So music is a trigger. What else do I do? YouTube has amazing motivational videos. I love listening to Will Smith. Or even The Rock, people who have achieved a lot in their life, who come from, let's say, also like not the best conditions from their childhood or from the way how they were raised, but they got it done, they became successful. Listening to their stories, to their words motivates me so much to get up early, to get my stuff done. And yeah, so one thing is motivational videos, also because they use good music. Or then there's like great playlists, like for running, if you want to do some sports, to work out, work on your muscles, or to get work done. What else? So I founded Monday Morning Motivation in China, and like every morning I post some motivational quotes, and I love to read other motivational, inspirational quotes from other people, or we share videos. Just by posting this, it's a habit for me, and I just enjoy reading them, because it reminds me, again, I know all of these things, but we just sometimes need a reminder, right? So, and then last but not least, I love listening to webinars or voice messages from my own coaches. And like my coach JT Fox in the US, or Susanne Ray in Germany. Just by listening to their voice, it also motivates me. So let's wrap this up, Colin. Tell us, what else do you want to give us on that path today?
Well, let me summarize. I got to say that I also have used the tactic of listening to motivational speakers, and that's a great thing to do while you're in the house doing something. Turn it up loud, or while you're out running. So I definitely agree that listening to somebody else who motivates you is a great tactic to use as well. In summary, guys, we understand that it may be hard to get up and do something, but look, get up and do something. Okay, find something inside you that helps you get motivated. The time to just sit around and hit the remote control button or watch your laptop, come on. It's time to close out on that. Right now, you have the ability, you have opportunity, and quite frankly, you have the ability, opportunity, and responsibility to start doing better. Now, again, if you're already motivated, congratulations. But if you're not motivated, and I hope what we're saying today definitely helps you. I hope you guys can turn the corner. Whether you be motivated out of fear, out of success, it doesn't matter right now. Just be motivated. And again, the biggest magnet, the biggest pull is having a clear, strong, realistic goal. Thank you, Janine.
Thanks for sharing, Coach Colin. And guys, what I want to tell you is, remember, you only have one life. You have one opportunity. Whether to meet the right people, whether to get things done, whether to use the time you have now, whether to learn something, it doesn't matter. But use the time you have. You only have one life. So find positive things in the current situation. Get your butt up, motivate yourself, and no matter where you are, stay positive and get things done. All the best, and hear you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.